Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the third part of this particular tutorial for this week, building up our motion design skill set. So the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to animate something to a path. We're going to make this paper airplane fly around to the path that you create. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete everything that I have here. So start from scratch. So the first thing that I want you to do is create a new composition, 600 by 600 pixels, right? 24 frames and 5 seconds long. So go ahead and create your composition as we have been doing. You have an airplane asset, paper airplane asset that I had you download. You're gonna want to go ahead to File and Import and bring that into After Effects. So just as a refresh, File, Import, File, navigate that to that paper airplane and bring it in. I already have mine in, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so for this composition, we are going to create a solid background layer. So let's go ahead and do New Solid. Pick whatever color you like. I'm going to stick with my dark blue that I chose for this. So maybe somewhere in there, maybe not so saturated, right there, like a navy. Okay, that way there's a high contrast between my background and the paper airplane. The next thing you're gonna do is grab your paper airplane asset and drag that down below onto your timeline. The paper airplane asset is quite large, so we need to adjust its scale right away. With the paper airplane layer selected, hit your S key. Let's go ahead and bring that scale down. There we go. That's a pretty reasonable size. All right, we're just going to let that be for a moment. The next thing that we need to do is create the path that we want this paper airplane to travel on. So we're going to do that by creating a layer. We are going to do a new shape layer. This time we want the fill and stroke to be nothing. Well, actually, okay. So if you click on fill, you're going to get this dialog box that pops up. Let's choose nothing here. It's the white box with the red slash through it. Hit OK. And then for stroke, I am going to go ahead and choose a color here. So I'm going to choose stroke. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to choose red so that you all can see it really clearly. Okay, so now we need to add our shape to our shape layer, but this time we're going to actually use the pen tool. This pen tool is the same type of tool if you have used anything with paths before. Illustrator is the first thing that comes to mind, but there are many other software that use this pen tool. Type of pen tool. So basically it drops anchor points and you create paths, and you can have them curved or you can have them angled and sharp. So let's go ahead and draw a path for the paper airplane. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do kind of a wiggle path like this. You can do whatever you like, however you want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and click to drop my first anchor. My second anchor, I'm going to click and drop, and I'm going to drag. Okay, and then you get these like handles that come out. And you can adjust these handles. So if I click on that and drag it, I can adjust this. So whatever path you lay down, you can always adjust it. Well, now what do? I need to continue this path. I'm going to click on the last anchor that I just drew. And then I'm going to click down again, and it's going to continue that path. Maybe I'll do kind of a wiggle this way. And then I'm going to drop another anchor point. I'm going to have my path go clear across and back over this way. So I'm going to drop and drag to give it kind of a nice, interesting curve, right? Because paper airplanes have a curvy path when they travel through the air. I'm going to drop over here and drag and pull. Drop over here. Now, if you're doing this and this is the first time that you've ever used a tool like this, you're probably really frustrated right now. I don't want you to be frustrated. Try not to be frustrated. What you can do is you can just take this shape layer, delete it, start a new shape layer, and start over again. It is going to take a few minutes to get the hang of this tool. Okay? Oops, I didn't mean to close that. Okay, so now that I have a path drawn, I'm liking this path. I do kind of want to move this one up a little bit. I'm going to grab my selection tool over here. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drag it up a little bit. And I think I would like to see the airplane actually come across the screen on this one. So I'm going to drag this down and adjust it a little bit. There is my flight path. So I'm going to see this come in and out of the composition in such a way. And I'm also going to click on the shape layer. And what we need to do is we need to copy this path. We're going to paste it onto the paper airplane asset. So in your shape layer, I need you to toggle down to the contents, toggle down the shape, toggle down the path, and you're going to click on this property path, okay? What I want you to do is you can either go to Edit, Copy, or Command or Control C to copy that. Let's go ahead and toggle that up. On the paper airplane, we're going to toggle down. We're going to click on Position. Make sure your scrubbing tool's at the beginning of your timeline, and you're going to paste. So Command or Control V, you're going to paste. And look at this. It took all of those anchor points and it pasted them on this asset. So let's see what happens. If I bring my scrubbing tool forward, my paper airplane is flying on the path. That's awesome. I can also make adjustments. So if I marquee select all the keyframes and hold my Option key down, I can make it a longer animation or a shorter animation. That's pretty awesome. Okay. The thing though is we have one major problem, and that's that the paper airplane is staying in the same position no matter where it's going. And that does not look very natural, right? It should be turning and changing direction with the path. So how do we do that? Well, that is a quick fix. So you want to select the paper airplane layer. You're going to go to Layer. You're going to go to Transform, okay? And you're going to go down and you're going to choose Auto Orient. This is a great trick for motion design. Good thing to know. Auto Orient. Choose that. You're going to get this dialog box. You're going to choose Orient Along Path. Hit OK. Now check this out. The airplane turns upside down and flies with the path now. Very, very useful. Okay, now let's look at the speed. Well, this is going pretty fast. I don't want it to go that fast. So I'm going to marquee select all my keyframes, and I'm going to stretch this out a bit. Let's say to 4 seconds. I'm going to take the end of my timeline, and I'm going to bring that in so that it ends at about 4 seconds. And the only problem I have is that I can see this path because I chose a stroke for it. So you can do one of two things. You can choose the layer and turn the stroke off here, or you can just shut the visibility of the path layer off. And then you'll see that there aren't any lines anymore. And that's it. Now you've animated something to a path. You've had it auto orient so that it looks natural in terms of the direction that it's going. And now you know how to animate a paper airplane, which is really super cool. Okay, so just like every time before, we're gonna go ahead and add this to Adobe Media Encoder. I'm gonna choose to go ahead and just put this on the desktop, save. We're gonna render that out. And then you should be left with a nice animated GIF. Whoops. There it is. Okay, so for this tutorial, you are going to be turning in 3 files. There's the wiggles, the bouncing ball, and then the airplane animated GIF. Okay? That is it for this tutorial. So you should feel like you're starting to get a good foundation and some really basic movements that you see in motion design used over and over and over again. So you should feel like you're starting to be able to see other animations, you know, and look at those and go, oh, okay, like I understand what the basic movements that they used, the basic animation and behavior. And I think I could replicate that, right? You're starting to see in other animations these basic skills that you're acquiring. We'll continue to build on those throughout the entire term. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.